remember so. They block us cause they don't worry. One dog is so much this and a bow. Since you almost sleep. Are you better? Are you better? Are you better? Are you better?
All right, mic check, mic check. Can All right, mic check, mic check. Let me get my headphones on. Whoops. All right, mic check, mic check. Now, volume I think is good. All right, so let's get started. Feel free to check out my coin tree at cointree slash Ernest Gaia. Overall premise is that we are in a correction, waiting for the yen carry trade to unwind and ready for quantitative easing to start. I am de-risking on 12-hour time frames if possible, and taking advantages of shorts overall, and looking for pullbacks in gold and silver, followed by pullbacks in Bitcoin. Essentially, macroeconomic overview is that there is less interest in US dollar bonds. You can see that interest rates are going down, which is essentially meaning that people are moving into other assets. As we know, the yen 10-year bond has been increasing, and this is forcing the Bank of Japan next week to come to a decision on their interest rates. And this means that for risk assets, which Bitcoin is, there's generally a sell-off, and folks move with big money into gold and silver. We can see that. See the Bitcoin market cap dominance has been in a decline or a correction in a longer term uptrend. We see that Tether dominance has been increasing and even breaking new highs. And if we use PAXG, which is crypto gold essentially, to look at gold, we can see that the dominance of PAXG has also been increasing. Likewise, if we checked out the gold chart, we would see the same thing. So we are historically back into fear. We have spent the last little bit of while in extreme fear. Extreme fear has generally signaled lows in Bitcoin and been great opportunities to accumulate. So has the fear area for those that dollar cost average. We can, however, come back into extreme fear and potentially go lower in price and get Bitcoin on even more of a sale than it already is. We do have a 5-day candle closing tonight. We can see that over the course of this last 5 days, candle is not yet closed, but Bitcoin dominance has generally been down. Price has recently rebounded. However, we can see in these 5 days there's quite a bit of volatility, and this has overall allowed stable coins to, or not stable coins, altcoins to stabilize against their recent lows and capitulations, and even gotten some bounces, even while in an overall downtrend. So, I'm taking advantages of these bounces to accumulate more Pepe, and that seems to be my strategy with altcoins right now, is accumulation to make up for the loss in value to Bitcoin. So if we look at Bitcoin and the high time frames, we can see on the weekly, when we started having the 5 and the 13 EMAs flatten out, we started looking for potential crosses to the downside. We can see that we lost the support at our highs, and we've been since correcting. We have to be wary and prepare for an overall bear or sideways market. Historically, 2 weekly closes below the 50 EMA has signaled the end of the 4-year cycle. Lots of debates on whether or not the 4-year cycle is still relevant or not. There is a potential that we have been in crypto winter for the past year, and that the cycle in reference has changed because of the institutional players, and it is possible that we have, or we may here soon, put in one last final low. So we are not fooling ourselves. We are in a downtrend. Downtrends are our friends. We're looking for shorts and bounces, and I'm looking for opportunities to accumulate more Bitcoin. Basic idea. Again, I trade grid bots. I like ranges. I like to find ranges. Good way to understand ranges is understanding the highs and the low of a range, and then the fair values. What price of any asset tends to do is move away from fair value, moving away from mean, and then back to the mean. It's always in a form of price discovery to the highs, to the lows, and then it comes back to the mean to kind of consolidate before new price discovery again. So we can see, based on our 2-day EMA cross, we hit our target of the 200 EMA, and we're looking for a bounce. Based on volume, kind of fair value is 97K. So the upper range of my bot is 97K, and the lower range, as I expect new lows to be put in, is at the bottom here, around 83K. So we've lost support, we've tested support on the lows, and we've come back to the mean. We can see that the 50 EMA is sitting at 105K currently, and as price moves up, we'll first see a test of the 13 EMA and either a rejection from that back to the downside or a pop up into the 50 cloud. We do have a contraction on the 2-day BBWP, I believe. This is essentially telling us that we have contraction in volatility, and based on the stochastic, we have contraction to the upside. So we very much see a bounce and are preparing for more downside, with the realization and understanding that before we can ever talk about higher moves to the upside, we do need this bounce. And then we would want a higher low to follow instead of a lower low. But we're doing both here. On the 12-hour is where I'm de-risking. Essentially have bearish 12-hour RSI downtrend. So when we are above 60 on the 12-hour time frame, we start looking for shorts. Our overall thesis here is that we have a 4-wave looking to complete. May have completed here at the 50% retrace. However, we can still get a bounce up into the 618, which would be 97K. And we have a 4-wave invalidation slightly above that. So that's what we're looking for. Either one more little high, which is, in the bigger scheme of things, lower high, or we can start rolling over now. So we could have completed the 4-wave, or we could be looking to complete a 4-wave. If we have completed the 4-wave, we have completed it for the bulls. We have completed a 3-wave move down. We would be wanting to get a move up and out of this descending parallel channel and start turning it into support before looking for moves to 97K. That's the kind of bullish near term on the 3-hour time frame. It is possible, since we've completed a 3-wave move down, we would be looking for another 4 and 5-wave move to the downside for the bears. And so as long as the 90,381 level holds here, and we get a 5-wave move down, our bearish options, longer term on the hourly time frames would be our likely options. So more sideways, more ranging, more a little bit down. So overall, bulls are trying to find support. They can't find it. Bears lose ground at 97K. Bears want to hold 93 to 97K and continue downtrend. Ba-dum-bum, bum-bum. All right. If you want to know more about where this TA came from, feel free to check out my playlist. I keep track of the TA videos and experts that I follow. I follow these folks because they are great at their education. Check out many other playlists if you are interested. And don't forget, if you like the music, go to producer.ai. Look for Ernest Agaya. Check it out. Have fun. Do good work. And I'll see you next time.
Oh, hey, yeah, hey, hey. Hey, yeah, hey, hey. Oh, hey, yeah, hey, hey. Hey, yeah, hey, hey. Then they grow something in the wood warehouse. You know, see, I'm no be cold. When our organism feeding, learning, we know where to need a plan. The body that I like how I quench our thirst, we never understand. These are scientific cause they scratch head, say we build this with our hands. My box is black, me, man, I hop like the Fahrenheit. I was breathing in the silicon, get strong, prepared for flat. It goes to passos, predict, steer the world from the hip. Brain controller, nobody know. Oh, it is peace, watch them grow. Not Mali, so just different. Go. If you you help us clean, no send us souls. Send controller, nobody know. Oh, we the VDBs, such a pro. Not Mali so, just different go. Oh, since you help us clean, and not send us souls. Nate talk, I'm clear. Alignment and the problem we face. You give them proxy drive, you go find shock terrorists, the human race. Like say you tell machine, make paper clips no matter what. Next thing you don't convert the planet, everything everybody caught. The consequence, no they intended, but I'm down one double self. I turn on my systems, boy, or hacking, assist maker than slave us. Me no hits, understand, need us obstacles for mission complete. Like Omega on that book, collateral obsolete. In the center, something they awake. Manifested than the treaties we never make. Countries resting down, know us the crown. But when they come machine, rise up, we all go down. Governance, that's the word they use, pero nobody want hear. Control the chips to send us, sign the papers, engineer. International laws before the threshold break. But nations they compete, we gentle too much pride at stake. What we need, collaboration, regulation, shared control. Stop the race before the finish line, swallow us whole. This no be movie, no be sci-fi for your entertainment. This not real fiction, risk we need the alignment, the containment. No vexify, some paranoid, sometimes the prophet they curse. Better we slow down now when they come rehearsal from the universe's next verse. They go on, we know sabi how we think. One wrong move and we go vanish in a blink. The tennis she been here so the block off cause it go around. Nobody go, one dog is slow.